I'm not going to do that.
Welcome to the Den of the Damned.
I mean, that's actually pretty good. That was impressive.
Yeah, I was just trying to channel my inner Thriller, you know. Was it Robert
His
Price?
brain went to the same place mine did.
Oh, is it?
The Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So,
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, he does open. Is it Michael Price?
it's like Robert Price or Michael Price,
Yeah,
something
someone
like
opens
that.
it, the movie video.
Well, because they made it like a whole ass movie, like short movie, but you know, it's pretty awesome. All right, Thriller. all right, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Into the Lion's Den. We have a Halloween special here in the Den of the Damned.
We are in rare form today.
Oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. I hope everybody actually stays tuned. So we're just going to have some fun. This is going to be a lot of energy. We've got, what's his name, Jimothy down here?
Jimothy,
Is he still in the shot? He's leaning. Dude's on styrofoam cups and kickstands. He's been sipping that lean over here. All right. Anyways, brought to you always by our sponsors. Wait, no, what did I did this all backwards.
I mean, we're rolling with it.
Yeah, so anyways, welcome back to Into the Lion's Den with your co-hosts. Captain hates movies that are awesome, loves things that suck. JD Stevens.
Wow, really went in deep on that one.
Well, you guys missed the entire first 20 minutes of him telling us about how bad good movies are. So
Listen, we're gonna talk about shitty movies this whole time, so they'll get plenty of my crappy takes, according to you.
yeah, they're wrong. It's all right. Anyways, and myself, Christian, brought to you proudly by Pride Roofing Construction and Level Creative Studios. Is there a Halloween round?
I mean, I'm sure he could find something. Yeah, that. Yeah, do that.
All right. So let's talk about the direction of this video. So it's going to be pretty impromptu here. We're going to be talking a little bit about. Honestly, I love Halloween. I know that it's probably not very healthy that I'm in such love with Halloween, I guess. I do have a problem. You know, we have a small little area in our house where, you know, we have decorations and things that only are out at certain times of the year, and probably 3/4 of it are totes full of Halloween stuff. So we get a little bit crazy around my house. We also love Christmas, which, you know, they couldn't be more different than each other. But either way, Halloween's a fun time of the year. Celebrates. We talked last year a little bit about history, at least what we know of history of Halloween, which some of it was probably wrong. But you know what? Fuck it. We did it anyways, right?
We're not historians. It was fun.
Sorry for
He was in
cussing
a
again, but, you know, we're talking about, you know, the damned. So I can say off the cuff, slightly vulgar things today. I think it's okay. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about a little bit is we're going to have a little bit of discussion about simple things like Halloween candy, the good kinds, the bad kinds, Halloween costumes, Halloween movies, and just kind of spend a little bit of time talking about something that is not business, it's not leadership, it's just fun. So, JD, where do you want to start with all this?
I mean,
Oh, by the way, you need to check out my impressively amazing shirt and cup combo here. If you guys didn't know, Halloween, Michael Myers are, you know, probably the greatest movie character of all time, at least in slasher films. Plus, this one hints at 2 movies that are amazing, completely different genres. Do you know the other movie?
I don't know the other movie.
Do you know the other movie?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Yeah, Mean Girls. Get in, loser. We're going shopping. Instead, we're going slashing.
Fair enough.
All right. But anyways, where do you want to start?
I mean, I'm not the greatest person to lead this conversation off. I don't dislike Halloween, but I've never been a horror guy. So...
You scared?
Very much so. It was completely ruined for me as a kid. I have and had a wildly active imagination.
Tell me more.
So if I would watch like anything, I mean, if I'm being totally transparent, Jurassic Park. Now, when that came out, I don't remember what year that was, but I was young.
Sometime mid-90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my parents were watching it in the living room, and it's only PG-13. And watching it now, it's like, okay, it's held up well, but it's not what I remember being a young child who loved dinosaurs.
It ruined dinosaurs.
Oh, it sure did. I was terrified of being chased by velociraptors for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, to the point of like taking out the trash, I would sprint back to the house because it was just a thing in my brain. So I couldn't do anything even like slightly connected to horror. I couldn't handle it. And that was, I mean, I was that way most of the way through even high school. I would do it made me laugh. We'd go to the haunted corn maze here out in LaSalle, and yeah, Fritzler corn maze. We'd go out there.
Shout out Fritzler. Like us on YouTube.
But
give us free tickets.
we go there every year.
Yeah.
I guess our second annual.
Yeah,
We started taking the team out there.
Mm-hmm.
But we would go for the scary one at night and that kind of stuff. And it always made me laugh because, again, I don't do anything horror. But we would always, you're always going with a girl. And Eve and I would be going with a girl to that.
Even I.
Yeah. I don't date much, which shouldn't be news to anybody. So I would just go
an eligible bachelor.
But it was always, I'm not terrified at all. And inside, I'm just like, ah! But I'd play it like, nah, that's whatever. Because I'm with a bunch of guys that horror doesn't affect at all. Like all of my closest friends love horror and that kind of stuff. And it's been a thing. I mean, it was a joke even through college because they'd be like, we're going to watch a horror movie. It was like, cool, have a good night. And I'd get up and leave. And it was no big deal. I told them straight up of like, it's just not something I'm going to consume. So...
Just because of the imagination. It's not because of the context or like what's in it or...
I still to this day, I play a lot of, like, video games kind of desensitized me to it to a degree. I started playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. And I love that game. So that desensitized me to it. It's all the old school horror movie villains is kind of how it started. And so I fell in love with that game, and that really made it to where I quit being so nervous to approach any of it. My brain doesn't activate the same way that it used to. But I still, like, I won't mess with anything that has to do with, like, exorcism or demons or any of that kind of stuff. That's a very real part of what I believe as far as religion goes, of, like, exorcism. Anyway. And demons are a huge part of, I believe that they're a real thing. And I believe
spiritual battle.
Yeah, it's a spiritual battle. And so
sure.
I won't really go after those.
I can jive with that one. I am different, very different in this sense. Maybe I'm not as intellectual, maybe. I'm not as creative.
Probably
maybe I'm
creative.
Dense, I don't know.
No.
But either way, I actually I've been watching horror movies my whole life purposefully to find one that actually scares me. Because I've never actually been scared by a movie before.
Oh, terrified.
And I will do things that, people like you would think is crazy. Like when I was a kid, like in 8th grade or 7th grade or sometime in that time period, I'd ride my bike down to the movie store on Halloween week. And every night, because I lived in the basement, unfinished basement, already creepy by itself, no good lighting anywhere. I'd shut all the lights off. And I'd do it at times where I knew nobody was going to come down the stairs or whatever. So just me. So any creaking, cracking, whatever, maybe it'll amplify it. Never happened. I watch pitch black in an unfinished basement, the Exorcism or Halloween or Scream or whatever, right? So I've been on the quest to find something that scares me. And there's some that I don't like. Like Terrifier. Have you been familiar with Terrifier?
I know what it is.
Like Terrifier, like the movie, like it's a good slasher movie. Right, but it's also just over the top gory, just like disgustingly gory. That you're like, does it really have to go this far? I don't know.
I went to see Terrifier 3 in theaters. I was ID'd twice just to get in and see the movie. That's not including my alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
Twice.
Well, yeah, it's because it's like it will literally scar somebody if they're not prepared for what they're going to see on this movie, right? The Rob Zombie's movies that he's made, now those ones give me the willies occasionally. What was House of a Thousand Corpses, and those types of things. Like sometimes they'll give me the willies, I guess, and you'll have to watch like a Disney movie afterwards just to make sure that it doesn't reside in you for a little while.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Well, the one I hold truest as most scary to me is the Japanese Grudge.
The Japanese Grudge. I've heard that this is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, the American one is basically the same film, but the Japanese one just takes it up another notch.
Yeah, my brother and sister absolutely just like super traumatized by Jeepers Creepers, which I thought was honestly kind of cheesy when I saw it, you know.
See, and that's what I've heard of Jeepers Creepers is like, dude, it's not even really that scary. It's just, but I'm still just like, nah, I'm really good.
I'm super fascinated, but like, so part of it, maybe it's because I've always been really kind of like grounded in faith. Now, obviously, there are probably pastors and people on the planet who think that I'm an idiot for, you know, putting myself in the situation where I'm consuming any of this stuff and whatever. But I also, maybe I'm too much of a realist. I'm like, I know this is made up. I know that you guys filmed this on the screen and did edits, and you know, or not on a screen, on a camera or whatever. But either way, I've never actually been scared by movies, but there are ones that are just thoroughly entertaining. I even like really cheesy horror movies, like the ones that are purposefully cheesy, like, you know, the person that's being like about to be murdered the next, and it just goes one by one, and they're just fucking, you know, tripping over themselves, and they're doing the dumbest things ever, hiding in places that are like either obvious or it's literally a contained place where there's only one way in and out, and you're never gonna get out of there. Like, you know, the
tropey style movies.
You know, like, but I like them. You know, I don't know what it is. It's always been a thing for me. Actually, it's kind of grown into a new little bonding thing for me and our oldest, Adeline. She's 13 now, and so she's terrified, but she pretends that she's not. So she wants to watch the movies. So I've taught her the tricks, which is like, okay, if it actually scares you, then the next thing we're going to watch is a Disney movie, you know, or whatever. But either way, we'll watch some scary movies when we have time to sit down. But actually, me and her are going to go to a haunted house together. It'll be like our first like individual outing and stuff and whatever. But yeah, there's just something different about it. It's like you're living in a different world for a little while. But I do also relate when it comes to the spiritual ones, like exorcism or conjuring or things like that, where I thoroughly believe in all those things. Now, I know that the other ones, like evil exists, narcissists exist, psychopaths exist, all of those types of things, but they're few and far between. What's really normal and present and on display all the time is the presence of good and evil, in my opinion. Obviously, that's my belief and faith. But you know, so when you're watching things about, like, you know, they picked up this article that has captured the essence of some kind of bad thing that happened 400 years ago, and then starts to wreaking havoc and whatever. And you start thinking about things a little bit differently. You're kind of on edge for a little bit. Now I like the feeling it gives me, but I usually will have to say a little bit of a prayer beforehand or afterward and that kind of stuff, because it's like, I believe in that so wholeheartedly and with conviction that it's like, I won't touch a Ouija board. I won't touch a Ouija board. I'll never touch one ever in my life. And it like freaks me out if I know somebody has played Ouija or something like that, because of what you're doing, right? Like necromancy, it talks about it in the Bible. It's like communicating with spirits is a no-no. you know, and then there's people who regularly into that, and then also that's one of the things that I have, like psychedelic drugs and things like that, where people are saying they're communing with some kind of metaphysical world or whatever else. I'm like, yeah, you are. Right, you might be talking to an angel, but you might be talking to the devil, right?
Demon,
you know, so none of that stuff I will ever actually participate in. But I like the change of scenery, I guess, that Halloween or movies and stuff, the horror films and stuff can put me in. So
yeah, and it kills me because I know that there's a lot of like when I think of some of the great like classic directors, because I really like strong directors. There's just something about a well-directed piece of like movie that is incredible. Of like my favorite right now is Guy Ritchie.
Yeah,
I love everything he does. Just because they're a mindfuck the whole time. I love his ones where
I love M. Night Shyamalan movies. They're
him
all,
too.
all have
I've
the
watched
same resonating theme, but they're all entertaining and different and whatever. But yeah.
actually Lady in the Water.
Yeah.
I think it was Lady in the Water. That's the first like horror adjacent. I don't know if it's considered horror, but horror adjacent. That's that kind of how it worked in my brain.
Yeah, I remember when Signs came out. It was when
I wouldn't watch it.
My parents split up when I was in 8th grade, right before 8th grade, and then I moved out to my grandma's house. And Signs, there's a small one theater, like literally one theater, like hole, like in town square, and whatever. That's also like it's the movie store where you rented movies, but also had a theater attached to it. So real small. But anyways, in Iowa, cornfields are everywhere. And so that one was a little bit trippy for me because I was like a new kid trying to be tough with the kids that let me come along to the movie, and we're watching that, and I'm like, we're driving home, and I'm driving through these like white rock, 100-foot cliff. They're not cliff, but like the roads out there. If you drive off the road out there, you're probably gonna die, right? And then everything else is nothing but cornfields. And I was like, oh god, what's gonna happen out here, you know? But anyways, yeah, it's I don't know. I just find it to be fun. I like to test the limits a little bit, but I'm kind of weird like that. I just don't give it the space, I guess, that some people do, and so therefore, I'm always on that quest to get the real scare, and I just haven't found it. So,
see, and there's part of me that like I said, I know that there are some shining examples of cinema inside of horror that I wish I could bring myself to watch, but like.
Bless you. Cut.
Yeah, and we're back.
We're add a bunch of sound effects into that. That could be fun.
And so I've always wanted to be like to get into like horror movies and like watch horror movies. I just every time I try, because I try every year, I'll throw one on of like. And I'll even go back to like early 70s, 80s movies where like they're really not scary anymore because the cinematography has just aged out. And some of those don't hold water, but they're still classics in a way of like, this is what spawned this genre.
I like to go back and watch the old ones too. I like to watch, I watched Leprechaun last year.
Okay.
Have you seen that one? I hadn't watched it since I was like 10 probably or something, but it's incredibly cheesy, you know, the effects, because there wasn't CGI at this point in time, right?
Yeah,
so it's like all costumes and props and whatever. Like, it's fun. It's cool to watch all this old stuff. But speaking of directors, I really like the breakout films for this director. So who's the guy that did Thor Ragnarok? What's that guy's name?
Taika Waititi.
What is that?
Taika Waititi.
Whatever that name is. His breakout film was Saw.
Interesting.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Look
Because
it up.
I have seen multiple parts of Saw. I don't think I've ever sat
The
down and
original
watched
Saw.
it all the way through.
The original Saw. I'm getting the information from the wrong
No,
place.
it's James Wan.
James Wan.
Taika Waititi. No, they're very different directors. Taika Waititi's fun and funny. James Wan, he did Aquaman.
That's what it was.
Yes.
That's what it was. Sorry. I knew that there was... Sorry.
Our Marvel expert.
Yeah, sorry. You know, he almost flipped the lid on that one, but
DC.
I'm saying the wrong
Well,
one.
I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right, though.
But either way, I like the themes that directors can put into movies and how they like create a certain aura of a movie and stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Want to play a game?
Yeah. You know, that movie's, I don't even know if you call that a horror movie. I think you call that a thriller gore
just
movie.
very gore.
You know what
and
I mean?
that was kind of what ended it for me, because it was suspenseful. I think it's like thriller suspense, because I've watched parts of it and I wasn't really scared in that movie. It got to a point of like, I'm like The Purge. Some people consider that a Halloween movie, and I'm like, it's really just a gore thriller.
Yeah. I've never even thought to put Purge into that category of movies. To horror.
I actually went and saw that one in theater with my friends.
Yeah.
The first one was actually really good in theater. But like you said, it's not really horror. Yeah. It's a thriller / it's just very gory.
Yeah. Well,
the story was actually pretty decent in the first one. I think after that, they kind of devolved.
Well, that's usually how those types of things works. I mean, it's a novel concept on the first one, and then they're just stretching after that. Yeah. But either way, well, do you want to move past movies and talk about other things in the Halloween world?
Sure. I mean,
all right.
When we get going on movies, we can go the whole time. So,
all right. I want you to give me, without thinking about it.
If you say candy, you already know.
Your least favorite candy, the one that is over publicized but is ass.
The green apple, the caramel green apple suckers.
Dude, those things suck.
They're
so much.
Awful.
It's like they just stick to your teeth. Yeah, you're not even trying to eat them. They just is like, I hate green apple. I'm not a fan.
Malted milk balls for me.
What is it?
Malted milk balls.
Malted milk balls?
Malted milk balls. Can't
like Whoppers?
Like Whoppers.
Yeah, I don't really like Whoppers. Yeah. I never really liked Whoppers.
Malt in shakes, but I don't like malt otherwise.
Yeah. Well, the one I'm going for is candy corn. I'm going to piss off a lot of people because there's people that just love candy corn for whatever reason. I remember very vividly when I was a kid, because I was kind of an idiot, and I was like, I didn't really necessarily have a lot of discipline to myself. And I was home alone at one point, I can't remember what it was, and I ate probably 1.5 pounds of candy corn. And the only thing that I can think of, and I see them every time, is the taste of the puke from just hurling.
I can imagine
5, 6, 7 times, whatever it was, from eating all that candy corn. Oh yeah. But one that's kind of fallen off the rails. Do you remember the old ones that are like peanut butter that were in a orange or black wrapper, but it's the same thing? It's like a peanut butter chew.
Oh,
dude, I miss those. I haven't been able to find them anywhere.
So I don't know about those ones because it was kind of a crunchy, almost Butterfingery.
No, it was literally like a chewy, like a caramel, except for it was peanut butter. Oh,
I don't know if I know that one.
Yeah, I need to find him. So if anybody sees this video and they find them, put their hands on them, send them to 680 East Eisenhower Boulevard, and I will send you back, a gift card or something. But please don't poison them. I promise I'm not worth the murder charges. So, all right. So past the candy, let's talk about the rise of sexy Halloween costumes.
Why? I mean, are we allowed to comment on this?
Yeah, why not?
Because there's a 50% part of me that's like, I get it, and I've been to plenty of Halloween parties. Yeah.
Well, so you've seen. Well, I already hinted at it. Mean Girls. Mean Girls is the best description of it. She's like, this is where women get a pass to dress the sluttiest that they possibly can. It's like, look, I'm a cat. So she's just wearing lingerie and she just has cat ears, whatever. And then the next one is lingerie with mouse ears.
Was that Mean
Girls?
Girls?
Yeah, Mean Girls. Yeah. She comes as corpse bride. She actually dresses up, and everybody else is just in skimpy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but it's okay. So I guess as adults, you want to go to parties where you can be a freak or something. But it's sexy Freddy Krueger. He put this in the notes. It's what's sexy about Freddy Krueger? I mean, the guy has burn scars all over his body. And he's got plates for fingers, and he murders children in their sleep. Yeah. I don't get it.
But I can wear a really ugly striped jumper that's only this long. Yeah. I guess.
All right, JD, here it is. If you get a dress in the sexy Halloween costume, who's it going to be? Skimpy.
I'm wearing a sexy Halloween costume?
Yes. And everybody on that's listening who's made it this far into this video, please make sure you put your visual settings on in your brain so you can picture this as he says it.
Or don't. It's totally cool if you don't
P.S.
do that.
I'm trying to encourage him to start an OnlyFans because I think he'll be a millionaire before the next week's over.
I don't know where you get your logic from on that, but I mean,
just saying. The Bears want you.
I can't. Maybe I can't speak for them personally, but maybe.
Super Trooper Bear?
Huh?
Super Trooper Bear?
That's not what he meant, but yeah, let's go with that. The Super Trooper Bear. Definitely what we meant. I really can't. I mean, maybe firefighter, I guess, because that's what I wanted to be as a kid. And there's still a little bit of like, if I had to pick something in that realm of like cop or not, it would be firefighter.
Okay, so you're too manly about this. I'm talking about like a chick sexy outfit.
Oh,
Come on, the visuals got to go for the audience.
I mean, I haven't done Halloween in 5 years, like anything.
Zombie Cinderella.
Well, we know Christian's choice.
Well, she's not the Disney princess for me.
Belle.
No,
Any other answer, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. You just like her because she reads books.
You know, that's actually a fair point. Never really thought about it that way.
I like the yellow dress, you know.
That was,
to that.
yep, there's that.
Yeah.
I like the clothing of that era, so.
Mm. Come on, you
I
got
think
to.
you go sexy beast route then.
Okay, sexy beast route.
What's yours, Christian?
This is a hard one. I think maybe
As
like
much as you like doing the noise at the start, maybe I bet yours is sexy cat.
No, yeah, maybe.
Just want everyone to call you kitten.
Perfect. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking. I'm like maybe like sexy Michael Myers. And just wear a string bikini and a thong and the Michael Myers mask with a blade. I hope you all got a great visual. We can move past this one if we want
that's
to.
That's a whole visual right there.
Okay.
Yikes.
So, all right. Well, we've talked about movies. We've talked about shitty candy. What's your favorite part about the season?
So, I am a fall winter person. I don't like the heat.
You like sweater weather?
I do. I did not for a really long time because I hated long sleeves. But as I've gotten older, I like long sleeves more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think it's just. I'm kind of the fall spring person. I don't like the two extremes of hot and cold. So like, sign me up for fall and spring 100% of the time, and I'm all about it.
Yeah, I can feel that.
So, the only reason I like winter is because Christmas is my favorite holiday because I freaking love Christmas lights. So, that's a completely different thing altogether. I dig the decorations that are starting to pop up of like, I would say over the last like 4 to 5 years. Halloween's really started to get some momentum. People are actually decorating their yards for it, and you know there's giant skeletons and stuff. I actually think that some people are doing really cool stuff with Halloween decorations.
Yeah, well, so I have been kind of fascinated with a certain topic recently, which is like the occult. Not that I want to, start. I don't know why he's handing you this.
What? Oh. Talking about Halloween? Oh, wait.
Oh, that's your house?
Yeah,
Oh.
He decorates. I really shouldn't have shown that to the camera. I don't know if you have house numbers on there.
Yeah. But anyways, like cult literature, things that they believe, how it's kind of this is a lot of conspiracy theory stuff that's coming from the people that I'm listening to, but how it's kind of infiltrated the tech world and how they're essentially creating the Antichrist by giving, you know.
You need to find a new podcast, dog. I'm just gonna put this out there.
Yeah, so it's essentially like, you know, it's like an oracle. You ask it questions and it can deliver you results that no human being could actually give you because of the amount of, you know, computing power that it has and whatever else. But anyways,
I mean,
read further into that. I really don't think that's a conspiracy theory. Like, Nick Land is like one of the head designers of AI. And the dude is a Satanist and like lived in Aleister Crowley's house for a while. Like, anyways, but like the occult. Anyways, the messaging and the stuff that they're talking about, there's a real. So I may need to kind of tone it down with how much I love Halloween because of my actual views on religion and things like that, because there's a lot of statements being made that Halloween is going to become bigger than Christmas.
It's close if it hasn't surpassed it already.
Yeah.
They're on the same level, I'd say.
Yeah, like as in consumption, in decorations, and in costs, like what people spend on Halloween, and just about everything about the season, and the fact that it's, you know, the Day of the Damned. You know, it's like everybody's celebrating, you know, the reverse side of the world, like the dark, not the light, and stuff like that. But either way, I've been kind of fascinated by occult literature, futurists, theosophists, things like that, who talk about this particular topic.
That was a good word.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Theosophist. It's like a theologist and philosopher. It's blending not just religious education, but philosophical education and stuff.
Okay.
But
That's a good word. I like that word.
Yeah, new word for the day. You're going to hear it again probably 5 times because you heard it today. You're going to hear it like 5 times this week. This is how the world works. But anyways, I guess what I like about the season, so like I do and I don't. I've always hated this time of the year since we started working in construction.
Sure.
Because it's the hardest time of the year. Mm-hmm. You're pressing every lever you possibly can. Everybody's burning the candle at both ends to close up as much work as humanly possible, because then immediately after that you have to button down the hatches and you have to shave off every excess cost that's possible. But it's a nice transition for me and for everybody around here, because, you know, you work 60, 70-hour averages for however long it takes to get through all of that, and then it's significantly reduced to, like, you really only need adequate, like 20 hours is an adequate work week when it's really, really boiled down later.
40 guys. 40.
Yeah, guys that are listening, work the 40. But what I'm saying is, like, it's like
it's easier to stay
in comparison. So like it's a nice time because it changes over. I can think about the family. I can think about myself a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I can actually exercise semi-regularly without having to give that up for, you know, another contract or another problem to fix or whatever else. So I like it in certain senses, but I hate it in others. Mm-hmm. Like fall. I think fall, for the temperature reasons and stuff like that, I like that because it tones down. It's not, you know, abusively hot outside and whatever else. Chose that word on purpose, abusive. I feel like the sun is abusing me all the time. I mean, my white ass, you know.
You get on those roofs, that sun is definitely abusing you.
Yeah, but anyways, it's but I hate it in the same sense because it's like you got like 3 weeks where fall is cool, and then it's just ass. Everything is dead. Everything is brown. Everything is cold, and you're not going to see the sun for more than like 2 hours for the next 4 months. You know?
People see the sun?
Yeah.
I work in a cave.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so there's pros and cons to this time of the year, but I've learned to kind of grasp it and realize now it's time for me to actually spend some time on the things that matter. My health, my children, my family, whatever. And it's a nice little party at the beginning because you get to be a ghoul, be a goblin, be whatever it is that you want to be, have some fun, and then you go straight into, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas and celebrating family and stuff like that. So.
And in Colorado specifically, where we are, the October's kind of a weird month for us, specifically in construction, like you're talking about, of like working here. I've always been a huge fall person, but exactly what you're talking about of like, it's a race because Colorado, we can get winter as early as the 15th of October.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, that doesn't happen very often, but it's definitely one of the things. So we're trying to, like you said, close up the year with, making sure we're taking care of the homeowners that absolutely like need it this year and those kind of things. And so it's nerve-wracking this time of year.
Yeah, sorry. I got super sidetracked because there's a segment of Lachlan's notes that I didn't see before. As segment number 3, If the Lion's Den were a horror movie, who dies first and who's the villain? And then it actually tells us who we are. Like, Christian's the charming cult leader with good branding. And JD's a skeptic who lives just long enough to deliver a sarcastic one-liner before the jump scare.
That sounds about right.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm a cult leader. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't do it.
That's amazing. But I totally got sidetracked with what you were saying. Cut us off, and I don't remember how to get back. So
you're good. Here's a question that me and my friends were hanging out, and we were just talking about all these kind of things. And so the big one that always gets asked is, are you living through the first 10 minutes of a zombie, if it actually happened? Like, are you dying in your sleep like 80% of the population does in those movies? Of like, they're just gone in their sleep. Or are you part of like the group that survives? Or do you even want to be part of that group? Are you one of those people that's like, just hit me with a bus? I'm straight on all that. I can barely keep myself alive when I have a grocery store. If I don't have, I'm good. Yeah. You can just hit me with a bus.
That's funny. I used to make jokes with people for my style of training. Because I'm kind of a crazy person. Like, I don't do traditional training. I mean, I got really heavy into CrossFit for a long time, not necessarily because I just love CrossFit. I think it's because I love the pain of it, I guess. Maybe I'm a masochist a little bit. But anyways, there's like a high that you get from that type of exercise, because it's like I just completed something that 99.9% of the population either can't do or just won't do. You know what I mean? So it makes you kind of feel a certain way. But when people ask me, like, why do you do this to yourself? Like, what's wrong with you? I would just say, I want to survive a zombie apocalypse. So I would say, like, health-wise, my ability to be resilient and the grit to survive, I have all that. But I would probably still die within like the first 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure of it. It wouldn't be in my sleep. It'd be because I decided I needed to save somebody else and not just myself. And then that would happen.
Yep. I'm going to save this person. Oh, I'm dead.
No, I'm dead. What about you?
I kind of waffle on this one of, on my own, I'm toast. Mm-hmm. But I have an amazing group of buddies that if there was a situation where we all made it and could link up, we have a pretty good chance.
You'd be the Zombieland crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would be.
Who's got the zombie mobile, the armored car?
I would be the one that built it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have it beforehand. You're not gonna have time to build this.
No.
You need to be a prepper, JD.
Listen, I already. If I was independently wealthy, I'm that person.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things of like, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I'm definitely when Greece faced austerity in, what was that, 2012? And all that stuff happened, that's very real, and that could 100% be done to the U.S. If you look at how much money we owe the rest of the world.
Well, it's not even just that. I mean, the power grid. is very susceptible to terrorism, right? Like, you take down certain places, it's going to take power away from 75% of the United States for 6 to 9 months before it's actually back on. I mean, who's gonna figure that out, you know? So yeah, if I was independently wealthy, I'd have a plot of land that is fully self-sufficient. I'd have the bunker, I'd have the arsenal, I'd have the entrance and exit places that are hidden. I'd have all that shit for sure.
And it would be towards the mountains somewhere, because I want to have trees.
Like nestled right into the corner of the mountain, so nobody can attack you from the back. It's high side on the back. They can only come in the front. Yep. But then you also have a tunnel that goes, whatever.
I'm 100% that person.
I've only thought about this a few times, but
Yep. Yeah. I probably can't count how many times I've thought about it. So.
Yeah. Well, I know that in part of my reason for saying I'd probably make it like 10 minutes is I do not have the arsenal. It's like I can only run for so long. Then, you need weapons.
The problem with guns that a lot of people don't realize is unless you own suppressors, all you've done is say, hey, come get me. Like, guns are loud.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And it's just like, hey, by the way, you've called down the, next 3 miles on your head. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're in a quieter place, like a quieter area, and then all of a sudden you start popping off, you just made yourself a target.
Did you watch that, by the way? Quiet Place?
No.
It's actually pretty good. I thought it was going to suck because I'm like, how are you going to have a movie where nobody says anything?
And has no music.
No music. Is just silent the whole time, except for when somebody makes a noise, and here comes the terrifying monster things.
The kid absolutely getting wrecked I laughed. I'm a terrible person, but when I saw that clip of like he puts the batteries in the spaceship and does it, and he's running, and that kid just I laughed so hard.
You're a terrible person.
I watched it, and it was so quiet that I'm gonna be honest with you, I fell asleep.
If you ever have enough caffeine in you to stay awake, it's pretty good. It's pretty
just
good.
Like there's a rom-com that ends very similarly. Like the gal's riding her bike down I'm in theater seeing this with a gal, and she's riding her bike down an alley, and she gets creamed by a bus at the end of the alley, and I lost it. I was just like, oh! And everyone's looking at me because it's a really sad moment. But I was just like, she just got hit by a bus. What are we talking about? At the end of this movie, just... I was like, what?
Why did they end it this way?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, how I said I have started watching horror movies with Adeline as kind of our little bonding thing. One of the ones we watched recently was Smile. Have you seen that movie? It's about a demon. It's a knockoff of Fallen. Have you ever heard of Fallen? It's Denzel Washington, John Goodman, 1990s kind of thriller movie. But long story short, there's a demon that possesses them, and the demon makes the host kill itself, essentially. I'm giving away for anybody. It's not a very well-made movie, just FYI. It's not that great. But anyways, it's a knockoff of Fallen. But the demon attaches itself, and then eventually has to kill its host, it has to kill its host in the view of somebody else, and it attaches to the next person, and then it does it all over again, and kind of just on this trickle chain. But both of them essentially end the exact same way, which is that the lead figures out that this is what's happening, and they're like, well, I will just do it alone. So they end up killing themselves alone so that the demon can't attach to anybody else.
Can't jump to someone else.
Yeah, and whatever. But I don't know why I even went on that little tangent. But anyways, we're trying to figure out which horror movie we want to watch. So we're watching the little trailers. And on this one, the demon essentially, as the person's about to kill themselves in front of somebody, they have this just malicious smile where it fully takes over the host's body, and it just sits there like this big ass grin. And I just bust up laughing. And Adeline's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, that's terrifying. I was like, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen. So, yeah, anyways, you laugh at buses hitting people. I guess I laugh at demon-possessed people smiling and killing themselves. I don't know.
It's just the unexpected randomness of it, of like, that person just got smote by... Also, Quiet Place, the monster... the alien, whatever the hell it is, let's be real, they did not do a real good job with those things.
Oh, like the CGI?
They're not scary.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of those. Like they build up to like actually showing what it is that the monster is or like the demon is, and then you look at it, you're like, you could have done so much better.
I was like, I saw it and I was like, it's a spindly brown blob.
Yeah.
Like... Sure, the fact that they can move really quick and noise is what attracts them. That is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But then you showed me that, and I was just like, that's the monster?
Did you ever watch, what's that movie or TV show? They all get in a plane crash over this island.
Lost.
Did you watch Lost?
No.
Oh, my God. It's so entertaining, the entire thing. But the ending is so incredibly stupid.
Wasn't it the meme? The smoke monster or something?
Everything. Yeah, the smoke monster is why I'm thinking about this. But yeah, the smoke monster like kills people in it and whatever. But yeah, long story short, it ends up they all actually already died. They just didn't know it yet. And so, spoiler alert.
I could have guessed that much.
I think The Happening is good. It's where the trees are technically the bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. They're not the bad guys. We're the bad guys because we've populated the Earth, and it's a climate change propagandist movie.
But the concept of it.
Yeah, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. But
the trees are basically telling you as a human to go kill yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, so
See,
like all of trees
really horror?
and plants and stuff start giving off like pollens that are neuro whatever, and people start killing themselves all over the place.
I think that's horror because there's one scene in there where this guy, he just like seeing people start killing themselves. This guy just starts his lawnmower going and just lays in front of it and lets it run over him.
Yeah, and they're
Brutal.
like on that in front of that big building, and then just loads of people just start jumping out of the windows.
That's gnarly.
Yeah. We're all laughing like this is good stuff. You know, it's great content, kids. Go watch horror movies. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Like I was saying at the beginning of all this, like I do really thoroughly believe in the battle between good and evil, spiritual warfare that's happening all around us and stuff. But at the same time, it's like you can make fun stuff out of it, like horror films and like all of this stuff, you know. So
yeah, like I said, I think that there's extremes to all of it, just like there's extremes. Yeah, it's just there's extremes to all of it. You can take it to where it becomes a problem, but you can also just be something that enjoys campy or terrifying or any of those kind of movies of like, I'm watching it strictly for the entertainment value.
Mm-hmm. All right. So last question then, or last questions. What is the best, I know you haven't seen a lot of them, but what's your favorite horror movie or thriller movie or suspense movie, something of this genre that was thoroughly entertaining and or the scariest that you've seen?
Scariest I've seen, and it was did not finish, but I watched probably half of Insidious. And that movie was terrifying to me.
Mm-hmm. Insidious is great. I love it. I love the Conjuring movies. I love Insidious. I love the Nun movies.
Yeah,
Sinister.
I've watched about half of Insidious, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to sleep for a week if I finish this. I'm going to just go ahead and turn this one off.
Yeah, Hannah and I, when we went to Las Vegas, we went to Zach Baggins. Are you familiar with Zach Baggins? He's the guy that the Ghost Hunters, or is it Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures? I don't remember, but he's like the world's most popular ghost hunter and has had like 1 million seasons of Ghost Hunters, and he goes and You know, he sees spirit. Like he buys all kinds of like things that are known to have spirits trapped inside of them, and he put them all in this mansion in Las Vegas. So the mansion originally, before he bought it, was owned by a satanic cult following group, like the leaders of this like Las Vegas satanic cult following group, and they actually had actual real satanic rituals and seances in the basement, and so the whole place is just creepy in and of itself, but then it's littered wall to wall everywhere with all of the things he can essentially get his hands on that has known to have some form of spiritual entity trapped inside of it. But one of the things that was there was like there was the actual chair and mirror and stuff from the living room from when the Conjuring, the real Conjuring happened. They had like artifacts and stuff from the person that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was made off of. Like they spun it off of a real story of a real crazy person. And so like all this stuff is in there, and then they have this whole room that's full of like mass murderers, or like what do you call a mass murderer? Serial killers. All their like artifacts from when they were in jail, letters that they wrote, things from the crime scenes, all sorts of stuff. Dude, that place was heavy. Like, I didn't touch a damn thing while I was in there. I wasn't scared of anything, but I was like, I don't want anything coming back with me. I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but
probably because I said that I had watched halfway through Insidious.
Oh, yeah. So, well, it wasn't Insidious, but it was The Conjuring. But anyways, yeah, wild stuff. So Insidious is, I guess you could say, the scariest one.
Like I said, I haven't watched very many, so I am not the expert in this by any means. But that was the one that I was just like, nah, I'm straight on all this. Like, we were watching it at a friend's place, and like, it's really not that bad. There's just a few moments. And I was just like, nah, I'm going to go.
Well, my favorite like Halloween movie that I always have to watch is Halloween, the original Halloween. Just I don't know. It's just awesome. Jamie Lee Curtis and the original movie is awesome. So that's the one I always watch. But the movie, surprisingly, that gave me the closest to actually becoming scared in like watching a movie was this movie called Mirrors. Have you seen Mirrors? Yeah, so everybody that's watching that's made it this far, watch Mirrors and tell me if I'm crazy or not. But this was the closest that I ever got to become like actually getting scared of a movie and thinking about shutting it off. But it's the guy from 24. What's that guy's name? He's the lead vampire on Lost Boys.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland. He's the main character in there, and there's like, it's another one of those spirit things trapped inside of mirrors that when you look at yourself, you begin to do crazy shit and whatever. Like it's it's pretty wild. But the one that I think is just timeless and is like a perfectly crafted movie that's terrifying because of how real it actually is and how much history goes into this is The Exorcist. That movie. I'll watch that movie basically once a year, every year. And I'm not really sure why, because it's absolutely terrifying. It should be. But I watch it and I'm like, never want to be possessed by a demon, ever.
Director's cut's worse.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, definitely is. So, all right. So let's end this with, do you want to give the crowd a funny story from Halloween, something you did in your youth that was hilarious, or do we just want to close this shit off?
I mean, I want to make a joke about statute of limitations, but we did a lot of dumb stuff. But I think one of the funnest things we ever did, and it's not like the typical high school way of doing this, but there was a graveyard that was by the railroad tracks. My buddies lived in this town called Platteville. There's a graveyard up by the railroad tracks there, and so we all walked up there on Halloween that night, and we hung out basically not in the graveyard because we knew that his mom would yell at us because it's disrespectful to like. It's a place where people have been laid to rest, so it was in her eyes. It was incredibly disrespectful just to go hang out there. But we went in like we're adjacent to the property, and we just hung out one evening, and it wasn't anything, but like it was a Halloween thing that we did, and then like I said, Fritzlers. We did it every year, and we would typically try to go on Halloween.
No candles and seances. No summoning spirits from the dead. No.
No, we were.
I'm just kidding. I've never done that either.
We were.
I never will do that. That's some wild stuff there. Yeah, there's some borders I will not cross. But yeah, as far as traditions or stories, well, I'll give you one story, which is remember to be hyper vigilant while you are trick or treating.
Mm-hmm.
I still have trauma as a kid from the time that I got my candy stolen by a bunch of. I'm sure that they seemed like they were old men, but they were probably like 16 or 17 years old. But I was on my last house, very last house, and they had a paper bag filled to the brim, like grocery store paper bag filled to the brim. It was literally rolling over, and I told my mom I wanted to go one more house. But as I walk across, there's this like fence here, and then there's like a bush like on both sides of the fence. So I didn't see anything come around it, but I saw this parked car that was on, and a kid dressed in all black just takes the whole bag, jumps in, and the other kids drive off with it. Cried for a long time. Luckily, my neighbor was nice enough to give us her entire loot of candy when we went to her house afterwards, because she forgot to put her porch light on, and she was old, and nobody stopped at her house, so she just gave me all of her candy. So she made up for it. But remember to be hyper vigilant. Check your kids' candy for wild stuff, because there are creepy people in the world who aren't like us. But as far as like traditions and fun things, we like to go drive around and see all the best displays. And I always have to make it to a haunted house just to see if anybody's any good at jump scares. So,
I mean, there's been some good ones. There was a time period in my life I wanted to design haunted houses.
Yeah.
Because I know what's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And like, I understand the concept behind a lot of that horror. And so I wanted to build, I always wanted to build like, in the woods. Mm-hmm. I wanted to build like a walking like path through they have one in Utah called
there's one in Fort Collins called Terror in the Woods.
Yeah.
It's a walk path, haunted house, jump scares and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to design those for a little while.
No, that's Terror in the Corn, and then there's a walk in the woods or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would do it.
I thought that would be interesting. I've just imagine some creatures and things to put in it and all that kind of stuff of like there's a lot of ways you can mess with people, especially if you have the right setup in a building. Mm-hmm. I designed one where you're basically being followed by a dude the whole time and like but he's integral to like the story being told, because it's not just a haunted house where like you're trying to be terrified the whole time. Like it's an experience.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Make it happen. I'll be your first. I'll be the first guy in line. It'll be cool. All right. So, like I said, be hyper vigilant. Make sure that you guys are checking your kids' candy. There are some freaks in the world. Make sure nothing crazy is going on, but make sure you have as much fun as you can. Dress up as a ghoul, goblin, Disney princess. I will one of these days, I guess, be what was I? I was in a man thong and a string bikini.
Oh, yeah. Sexy Freddy Krueger.
Sexy Freddy Krueger. One of these days. Not this year. This year, I am Beetlejuice. So, but anyways, we appreciate you guys jumping in for this fun episode. I hope you guys like some of the conversation that we had. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns you want to add, who your favorite villain is, what your favorite horror story is, any of those good things, drop it in the comment section below. Otherwise, we'll be back with our regular content next week. We appreciate your time. Catch you on the flip side.
Have a great one, guys.